Are you still adding your customers into your CRM application manually? Then this video is just for you. So hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to create Salesforce lead on Instamojo payment. So I am an owner of a skincare brand, and using Instamojo, I collect the payments from my customers who purchases the products that I'm selling in my business. Here what I want is that as soon as many of the customers, a new payment is going to be done, that means a purchase of the product is going to be done and they're going to do the payment using Instamojo. I want to add that customer as a lead in my Salesforce account. Now creating these leads manually after the new payment is done is going to be very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between Instamojo and Salesforce with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create Salesforce lead on Instamojo payment. So as an owner of a skincare brand, I use Instamojo to collect payments for my products. At the same time, I rely on Salesforce to manage my leads and track customer interactions. The challenge that I face is whenever a customer makes a payment with the help of Instamojo, I want to add that customer as a lead in my Salesforce account, and doing this manually is very time consuming and prone to errors. So for the solution to this problem is I've just simply automated this entire process. Now whenever any of the customers do a payment using Instamojo, automatically a lead is going to be created of that same customer in my Salesforce account. And I've created this amazing automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps in front of you, in which you can see all the applications of Pabbly, from which we're going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Create Salesforce Lead on Instamojo Payment. This is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Instamojo Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Create Salesforce Lead on Instamojo Payment, and there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Instamojo. Instamojo is a simple and a reliable online payment platform that helps businesses to collect payments easily. Whether you're selling products, services, or digital downloads, Instamojo allows you to create payment links, set up online stores, and accept payments via multiple modes like debit cards, credit cards, UPI, wallet, and net banking. And using Instamojo, I collect the payments from my customers who are interested in purchasing the products that I'm selling in my skincare brand. Okay, I want that as soon as a new purchase is going to be done by the customer using Instamojo, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. And that is why for my trigger over here, I'm going to select as Instamojo V2, okay? And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as New Sale. As whenever a new sale is going to be done using Instamojo by the customer, automatically and instantly Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. After selecting the trigger application and the event, over here to connect Instamojo to Pabbly Connect, Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we're going to build a connection between Instamojo and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to first simply copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, I'm going to open my Instamojo account. So this is my Instamojo account, and this is the smart page that I've created for my product, that is Natural Glow Skincare Face Toner. I want that as soon as this product is going to be purchased by the customer, automatically and instantly Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. Okay. In order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to connect this smart page to Pabbly Connect. For that, over here you can see next to this share page, this is the settings of this smart page right away. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to open this edit page section right here. As I'm going to do that, you will be landed towards the edit page of your Instamojo. From the left side of the panel, go to this page settings option right here. As you go to land towards it, under page settings, if I'm going to scroll up, it says add webhook. Toggle this button on right here. As I'm going to toggle it on over here, it is asking for us to enter a webhook URL and the information to be sent. For the webhook URL field, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And for the information to be sent field, I'm going to select as successful payments. I want to capture the response of only successful payments. So that is why over here, I'm going to select it as successful payments. Okay. And after entering the URL and selecting the information to be sent, I'm going to save the changes. For that, I'm going to click on the save and update button right here and on here yes button right over here. As I've done that, it says Smart Page Natural Glow Skincare Face Toner edited successfully. This means the webhook URL has now been successfully added to the smart page that we have created. Okay. As the webhook URL is successfully added to the smart page, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. It is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether Instamojo is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the test payment with the help of the smart page that I've created using Instamojo. After doing the test payment, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test payment being done or not. For that, I'm going to do the test payment. This is the link of the smart page. I'm going to copy it from here and open it in a new tab right over here. So this is the smart page that I've created for this product in the name of Natural Glow Skincare Face Toner. And now we are going to purchase this product from here. For that, I'm going to click on this Pay Now button right here. Okay. As I've done that, it is asking for the customer's information. I'm going to fill in the dummy details. For the customer's name over here, I'm going to write it as Test. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as Smart. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as smarttest4567@pabblytudes.com. And for the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. After filling all the details, I'm going to click on this Proceed to Pay button. As I've done that, it is asking for the payment method. I'm going to select it as cards right here. It is asking for the card information. So I'm going to fill in the details right here. So I've filled in the card details. Now I'm going to click on this Pay button right over here to do the test payment. As I've done that, you can see right away it says payment successful. As now the payment has been done successfully, I'm going to open my workflow and check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of this test payment being done or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down. Over here, I'm going to wait for a few seconds. As I've waited for a few seconds, you can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the Instamojo payment being done successfully. The payment status comes over here as success. We have received the payment ID. You can see right over here, currency as INR, that is Indian rupees. If I'm going to further scroll down, the amount comes as 9. You can see right over here. If I'm going to further scroll down, over here, this is the name of the person who have done the purchase, Test Smart. Email as testsmart4567@pabblytudes.com. With the phone number, you can see right away, this is the dummy mobile number. So as the response of the payment being done using Instamojo has been successfully captured, this means that Instamojo has now been successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now, whenever a new payment is going to be done by the customer using the smart page that I've created using Instamojo, automatically in the similar manner, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. And here my objective is that as soon as a new payment is going to be done by the customer using Instamojo, automatically that customer should be created as a lead in my Salesforce account. For that, we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Salesforce. Salesforce is a powerful cloud-based application that helps businesses to manage their customer relationships and sales processes efficiently. Think of it as a digital hub where you can store all your customers' information, track leads, and monitor sales opportunities in one place. And using Salesforce, I manage the data of all my leads of my business and their details. So over here, I want to create a lead of my customer in my Salesforce account, and that is why for my action application, I'm going to select it as Salesforce. And for the action event over here, I'm going to select it as Create Lead, as I want to create this customer as a lead in my Salesforce account. For connecting Salesforce to Pabbly Connect, I'm going to click on this Connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on Add New Connection. But if you have an existing connection, you can select this option right here. After click on add new connection, I'm going to click on this connect with Salesforce button right here. After that, a new window is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this saved process, my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right here. As I've done that, you can see we successfully authorized Salesforce to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for all these details of our lead, like the first name, last name, and all the other details. So we're going to fill in all the required details. It is asking for the first name and the last name of our lead. So the data of these fields, what we're going to do is we're going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, you can see this was the previous step, that is Instamojo new sale. As I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. It is asking for the last name. I want to create this customer. I've done the payment using Instamojo as a lead in my Salesforce account. So for the data of this field, I'm going to select the data of the last name from my previous response. But in my previous response, I have received the first name and the last name of my customer all together. So now to separate the first name and the last name, what we are going to do is we are going to add another action step to this workflow before Salesforce step right here. And over here, I'm going to search for text formatter by Pabbly. I'm going to select the action application as text formatter by Pabbly. Using this feature of Pabbly Connect, you can format the text according to your requirement. And for the action event, I'm going to select as split text, as I want to split the first name and the last name that we received in our previous response together. After that, I'm going to click on this connect button. It is asking for us to select the text that you want to split. I want to split the first name and the last name. For that, I'm going to map the data. I'm going to select the data of the name that I want to split from my previous response. I'm going to select the data of this name from my previous response. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is going to be mapped. And as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data, okay? So now as I want to split this first name with the last name, I'm going to use the space between first name and the last name to separate the name, okay? And over here to enter the space, you have to write it as for space as separator, use this code right here. So I'm going to copy this from here and paste it right away as I want to use the space as a separator. I want both first name and the last name. For the segment, I'm going to select as all right over here. And then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've done that, you can see we've separated the first name and the last name, test smart, okay? As now we have first name and the last name, what I'm going to do is from this result right over here, I'm going to map the data of the first name and the last name right here, okay? As it is asking for the last name over here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the data of the last name, that is smart. For the first name over here, I'm going to map the data, that is test, okay? After that, it is asking for the title, which I do not require, so I'm going to skip the part. For the company, as it is a required field, but there is no company, so over here, I'm going to write it as none, okay? After that, it is asking for the phone number. So for the phone number over here, I'm going to map the data of the phone number that I've received in my previous response. So this is the data of the phone number that I've received. I'm going to map it right here. For the email, I'm going to map the data of the email right over here. This is the data. I'm going to map it. After that, it is asking for all these details, which I do not require. So I'm going to skip the part. It is asking for the lead source. For the lead source over here, as the lead source has been not provided over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle this map button on, remove this existing source from here. And over here, I'm going to write it as new customer Instamojo payment. This is the lead source that I have. Okay, the status I'm going to remain it as open. The rating I'm going to select as hot right over here, and it is asking for all these details which I do not require, so I'm going to skip the part. And then simply I'm going to click on the save and send test request button right here. As I've done that, we have received a response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Salesforce account. This is the leads page of my Salesforce account. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I'm going to refresh the page, you can see a new lead has been added in my Salesforce account. I'm going to open this lead from here. The name of the lead comes as TestSmart with the email as testsmart4567@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, the mobile number. Over here, the lead source comes as new customer Instamojo payment. As now the lead has been successfully added to my Salesforce account, this means that we have successfully created an automation between Instamojo and Salesforce with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a skincare brand, and using Instamojo, I collect the payments from my customers who purchases my products. Over for my trigger, I've selected as Instamojo new sale, as whenever a new payment is going to be done using Instamojo by the customer, automatically in the trigger, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. And over for my action, I've selected as Salesforce create lead, as now the customer have done the payment using Instamojo. I wanted to create that customer as a lead in my Salesforce account. For that, I've set up this action step. And in this automation, we have learned how to build connection between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video.
Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.